Welcome back, guys, to the Mindcrack server. This is part 3 of our farm building extravaganza series. I probably won't finish all the little details for the farm building today, but we'll get probably the bulk of it done, and after this point, we'll continue bouncing around different projects. So we'll go back to the map room, which still has a decent amount of work left, and the Death Starter house, which still has a decent amount of work left. And we'll occasionally come back to this to give it some finishing touches, I guess. Yeah, zombie. Okay. So let's come up here and let's watch the sunrise for just a second. There's a very weird, ugly statue over there of Guude. And that's apparently his idea for the UHC monument, is to make weird-looking statues of everyone. So I guess whatever floats your boat, man. It's fine. I guess it's okay. No, I'm just kidding. But that's what that is, in case you were wondering. There's the sun coming up. So I've done some additions off camera to the farm building, and I've been thinking of getting rid of the birch wood altogether, and I've been trying to do different combinations of some different blocks just to see what it looks like. And I'm not sure I've really stumbled upon something I really like. There's some death game stuff going on. One thing I don't like about this is that you can see the dirt block here. I would like to have it hidden, and that's what I was trying to do here, so that you can't see it. But then you get this weird border here, or the weird transition from cobblestone stair to stone brick stair. I'm going to continue fiddling with this. This isn't what I'm going to be messing with for the most part today. But those are just some things I'm thinking of. And if we go out front, you can see I started putting vines on the outside. Because I think more and more I'm starting to drift towards this jungle ruin type of build. I guess maybe just the way that these ended up being shaped made me think of that. How's that for item management there? Get one little zombie flesh, immediately get rid of it. But I'm sort of like considering what this would look like with a more weathered, aged look, and maybe replacing some of this with either cobblestone or moss stone or smooth stone to make it look less uniform. And I did replace the columns with water, and you can see I dug out a lot underneath here. So this is the lower level, and there's a staircase on either side of the main staircase that goes up, and you can see the whole thing is kind of cantilevered. Here, let me get rid of this because this is distracting. This is just a little staircase for me to build upon. Oh, can I even see all of them? Is that all of it? Yeah, okay. This was just so I could get up underneath here and place some of these blocks. Okay. So, you can see the whole thing is sort of being cantilevered off of the staircase. It's kind of like a big beam coming out of the ground. It almost looks more like a bridge, like a suspension bridge kind of thing. These are columns giving it additional support. And then, so all of this from here is being cantilevered, which actually isn't very much. But then we also think, like, all of these, it's being cantilevered out this way as well. From this point back is all being cantilevered. So I think it looks kind of neat. I'm basically trying to make it look transparent, or I'm trying to make it apparent what's going on. So for one thing, I think maybe this column needs to come back a little bit. This block right here, this is the center of the building, and I thought it might be important to have a column there, and then to have this beam, I reinforced it so it's a little thicker. So that, you know, when you look at the thing, it's immediately apparent, okay, so it's kind of hanging out over this gap, and, you know, there's a column there, and it's being supported sideways there, and just so that when you look at it, you can tell. I tried to make a nice, even transition curve. with this central, I don't know what we're going to call this thing. We'll just call it the staircase. The structural staircase. I tried to make that sort of a nice even curve, parabolic curve, and then the blocks on the either side of it, I tried to do the same thing. It looks a little messy, and I've been trying to clean it up. It looked way messier than this beforehand, and so that's something I'm just sort of working on. You can see how this sort of has that. Hey, buddy, come to look at the building. You can see it has that steady curve there, but then these detailings I put on the side, which I put there when I was really only worried about the staircase itself. And this staircase was like completely straight. It didn't have any of these curves in it. But now that the curves are there, these details are very messy. They're distracting from sort of the structural move I'm trying to do there. So for today, what I'd like to do is I'd like to develop this lower area, get a feel for what this water is going to do. I think it may come into like some channels that may snake around, and there may even be a level beneath here. Because people said in the comments that one of the things they thought I needed to change was that there wasn't enough wheat. Because people need wheat and carrots for breeding cows and pigs, which, yep, that makes sense. And also for sheep, and you need the seeds for the chickens. Although we have like a zillion chickens, you don't really need more chickens. So I'm thinking of rearranging or maybe adding more space so that, you know, if we need or if somebody needs a lot of carrots or a lot of wheat, there will be space either in a level beneath here or maybe in little excavated caves there and along that wall and along that wall. Something like that, just so that it doesn't really compromise the overall shape and make the building look gigantic. But then there's also enough function there for the plants. Enough plants for people. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do a little bit off camera. I need to figure out these columns, because for one thing, I want this thing to look like it's sort of hanging, that it's cantilevered. And so I kind of think the columns are sticking out too far, and I need to clean up this staircase. So I'm going to do that off camera, and I'll be right back. Well, I think that is quite a bit better. As to the columns here, actually, all I did was I removed the third one. This guy is the center block, like I said before, center block of the whole building. And I think that emphasizes a lot better that it's being cantilevered. This beam here is being supported on the last column. Looks good. I also cleaned up the underside of the stair here. So actually what I needed to do is I needed to bulk up this side a little bit because there's a landing right there of 3 blocks when you get to the second floor. Right there. And so the thing, it was a little inconsistent because it was kind of going up. Once it gets to this stage, it just goes a 1 slab difference each block. But then it was sort of, because of the landing there, it was just going horizontally and then resuming that slab every block vertical change. So I had to bulk it up on this side so that it would maintain that. And I ended up needing to basically lower everything on this side a whole block. So I lowered the floor 1 whole block. And I think the proportions are right now. I think it looks cool. Yeah. The only thing I don't quite like, these guys are a little cleaner. And here on this side, you can see that it's pretty clear that there's like a curvy elliptical arch thing going on there. And then one there. But once you get to this side, it gets messy again. Because you don't have this clear wall right there. Because there's just less space. So I think what I may do is once I figure out some new block types to use, maybe cobblestone or moss stone or something like that, we may make this out of a different block to distinguish it from these guys. And I think that may be a good idea. But now we're far enough beneath it that you can sort of see what is going on. That was kind of an important thing for me to accomplish before I got any farther. And then from here, I reshaped this a little bit. This is a little bit lower. This recess in the ground starts a little bit farther out. So as you get closer to it, because of the sight line, right? So right here, my head is at a certain level where I can see down to the floor. And before you couldn't because it was right there, right? This is what it used to look like. And so you would have to see how you can't see the floor with it like that? You would have to get all the way up here to be able to see what was going on. And once you're this close, it's hard to see everything. You can't see everything at once. So and my diamond pick, oh, I'm gonna have to go get another one soon. That's unfortunate. By sort of expanding outward the recess in the ground, but not making it much deeper, just one block deeper, you can now see the ground from farther, you can see the floor down there from farther away. So I think that really helps. Zombie! You see him just spawn right there? Okay, so next thing I want to do is I want to move the cacti into the floor and get them arranged, and then we'll think about the reeds. I also had some ideas for a cool thing to do with the water and the way to organize the way the water is going to come down and the different openings into the side chambers for additional farm area. Hey, zombie! Zombie! Okay, so, cactus. You probably need the least, you need cactus the least amount of any of the farming stuff. And you have to do cactus sort of in a every other block type grid. Otherwise, it'll knock itself off. Or if it's touching anything else, it'll get knocked off. And then I was looking at the columns. Columns are 3 blocks apart. So that gives us a pretty natural grid here to put some cactus in this little center area. And let's see. Well, should we put it way back here? Yeah, okay, we can do this. I may eventually change this. I'm not sure exactly. Oh, I wonder if I can do that with cactus. I'm not sure. Will it count the torch? No. Okay. Is that going to be a little hard to get back here to harvest? No, I don't think so. I think that'll be fine. But we won't do that one so that you can walk around that edge. Ouch! And the incidental, occasional cactus damage isn't a big deal because there's a beacon right over there with regeneration. Let's come out one more. Okay, so there's the cactus. Good. I think that's enough cactus. The only thing I can think of that you need cactus for is the green dye. I don't think it's used for anything else. Okay, that's good. Okay. So, I had an idea for something to do with water. And I just had the idea a little while ago to put chambers in the back here. This way, and this way. And they wouldn't be gigantic or anything. So let's just do something like this and see what this looks like. Have little openings like this. And I don't know if this configuration is going to look the best. But we'll try it out and see what it looks like. And if we dig down, we can continue this pattern. Whoop! There goes my pick. Darn it. Let's see if I have any, if I can make another one. I don't have any diamonds here, that's for sure. And 2 iron. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. I need to go make a pick. Okay, something like that. Let me go get a water bucket so we can see what this looks like with water in it. I had this idea of having these sort of decorative ponds on the outside and then having channels of water come down into the recessed area down into here. And try and do something interesting with that. Let's see. I don't need the cactus. I don't need that. I do need the water bucket. Okay, let's grab that. And let's make a few of these into pools. And this is just sort of to test out the idea. It's not going to look like this, obviously. I'm going to put some sort of uniformity of blocks around here. Oops. Okay, let's get all of that. There we go. And then let's do the same thing here. Yep. And then also, I actually also want to change these into source blocks. No. Yeah, like that. Yeah, there we go. That looks good. And let's make this one look a little bit better as well. Whoops. Oh, this one's a little different. So turn that into a source block. That, and then we want that guy to be a source block as well. Oh, and it looks like we're missing one here. Looks like we're missing one there as well. I thought I already did this one. There. Okay, yes. That's good. That's good. Okay, one more. We'll do this side as well. We won't do any of these, and I don't even know what's going to happen over there because the hillside is quite different. I'll have to look at it. I don't know if I want to terraform all of this just for the sake of those pools. We may try to do something different. I'm not sure. Well, I'll have to think about it. I don't want to completely alter the entire shape of the hillside. But if it's not, if it doesn't change too much of the shape, like if it's easy enough to do, then maybe it'll be okay. Why does this look different? Oh, okay. Because it is different. There. Yeah. Okay, that's good. That needs to be source block. Then we need to do that. Okay, good. Lovely. And then let's turn these guys down here into source blocks as well. Great. Okay. So we still haven't put the reeds up anywhere, and they are going to go down there. And people tend to, like if someone new joins the server, for instance, they tend to want a lot of reeds to make bookshelves, to get an enchanting station going. So that takes a lot of reeds. So I think it's a good idea to have a lot of reeds available at any one time. So we're going to have to think about that. I think most of these little rooms will probably have reeds in them. But if you notice, reeds are 3 blocks tall, and these little chambers are only 2 blocks tall. So that's we're going to have to do something about that. Yeah, I think it's starting to look pretty interesting. It's kind of like we've inverted some jungle ruins type thing. We've got this floating thing here, which I probably need to redesign a little bit, the way it's detailed, to make it look more like a jungle ruin. Maybe more full blocks and less stairs everywhere. It needs to be a little squarer. If you look at jungle ruins, like the ones in Minecraft, they tend to be squarer than this. This is like, this kind of does have the inverted pyramid thing, but I think it needs an update. Whoop. Okay, but I think that's starting to look cool. I think we're heading in an interesting direction. So we need rooms, or we need places to put the reeds. So one thing we could do is maybe make these things go down a few blocks as they go back. Is one thing I noticed when I moved the floor down one block, the staircase comes right to the edge of this column, which I think looks nice when things line up like that. You can see like this aqueduct little channel here of water. It's going to line up with that column. And this water coming down lines up with this water, and with that. And it sort of creates a shape without deliberately defining the shape. So what I'm thinking, since we have this line right here, right? I think we can maybe use that line to go down a block here. And here, let's put some torches. We need the reed room to be, I guess, 3 blocks tall. Can you put a block directly above a reed, or will it? Yeah, I think you can. Let's go test it. I'm not exactly sure. I know you can artificially stack reeds taller than 3 blocks. I wonder, like, having a block next to them, that doesn't matter, for sure. Like, it doesn't work like cactus. Yeah, okay, so we can definitely do it 3 blocks tall. That'll work. Whoop. But it may it may look better to have it be 4 blocks tall, so that there's a little bit of space above the reeds. I haven't decided yet if we're gonna keep the birch wood look or if I'm gonna exchange it for something else. But for now, we'll keep it. But let's say we go down a block. So now this chamber, let's go back 1 more block. It's gonna be 3 blocks tall. So it's now tall enough for the reeds. Let's just take a look at what it looks like if we go down an extra block, though. And then let's dig the room out a little bit. I think these guys, they won't be super huge. They may go back like maybe 7 blocks at the most. And I don't need both of those. Let's do that. Let's dig this back 7 blocks. So there's 1, 3. Whoa! Getting a lot of block lag. You can see people logging out and logging back in. And that's to fix the block lag. Sometimes you've probably experienced it on your server, if you play on a server. Or maybe it happens in single player. I haven't really encountered it in single player. But I don't play single player much, so that doesn't mean anything. Sometimes there will be block lag where like blocks will become invulnerable, where as soon as you break it, they'll reappear, almost like it's got spawn protection turned on. And the only way to fix it is to log out and log back in. Okay, that's 5 blocks deep. So my initial impression is that this room's too tall. Okay, that's 6. And maybe they don't need to be 7 blocks deep either. Maybe that's too much. We do need a lot of reeds available to people when they want them. But we're going to have a lot of these little rooms, and I think they're all going to be reed rooms. They'll be the reading rooms. So let's come up and look at it from over here. One thing I like... Okay, so before we've dug that out, I kind of liked the proportions that they were before we made them deeper. Like this guy right here, how he's sort of long and narrow. It's kind of, I guess it kind of echoes this thing. It's long and narrow. It's not very tall. And this excavation here, it's long. And compared to how long it is, it's not very deep. And this thing, when we made it deeper like that, we made it square, which I don't think I like. So let's do this. Let's fill in the floor 1 block and then take another look. And maybe that's just too deep as well. Too far back, recessed. Okay, that's a little better. Let's look at it from up here. I always like to take a look at things from multiple perspectives. It's good to step back and look at the whole thing, because if you're just looking at it too close up, you can't see the way it looks in the context of the whole project. Yeah, that looks better when we raise the floor like that. One thing we could do, for one thing, I've been using slabs for all the floors up there. And we'll probably be using slabs in some fashion here to keep monsters from spawning. So, with that in mind, let's do this. So this could be slabs, and then we can have dirt all along the edge. And then I could probably hide water blocks behind the, basically, right there, basically. So that you don't ever see the water block that is allowing the reed block to be there. Whoa. And get rid of those. Let's see what this looks like. And then we'll start them. I'm not even sure where. You would think you would have to go into the room to get to the plant. So maybe they wouldn't even start until there. So let's try that. Okay, I'm going to set this up and then we'll take a look at what it looked like. Okay, let's take one last overall look for the project and then finish it up. Well, the project is not finished up. I mean, finish up the video. You know, when I started this, I was like, I'll just make a modest little farm building to help clean up spawn. It'll just take a few videos to just knock it out. Just knock that project right out. No problem. Won't be a big deal. It won't be too complicated. It won't be nearly as complicated as the map room over there. And then things just start to spiral out of control against my will and out of, you know, I can't help it. I can't help it. Let's go a little higher. Oh, I guess we can't without adding blocks. Okay, this is fine. So this is sort of the progress I've made today. I added all of the rooms with the reeds. You can see them down there. And I think the birch it's got to go. I don't think it fits the project. Especially not the way it's going with this sort of abandoned jungle temple look type thing, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon type of thing. I don't think birch wood stairs and flooring really fits in. So we're going to need to probably replace these stairs and the little bit left there in these little corners with something else. I've taken most of it out because every time I was up here to look at the overall look, it didn't look right. So I got rid of it. The only other thing that really bugs me is this column right here. So if you look right here, we are looking at the thing dead square on, and you can see the pool here lines up with the column, which is the dead center of the building. And if we go over here, this pool lines up with this water of that column. So things start to line up, and that column right there doesn't line up with anything. So I think we may need to get rid of it. But let's go. I'll go show you what I did, and we'll try getting rid of that. See if it improves the overall look, or if it looks like something's missing and we need to put it back. But you can see what happened. Just the way this was laid out. I made these openings here. 3 blocks wide, and then this little aqueduct pool. Oh, I need to fix that. These little aqueducts in between, and that measurement didn't really work on this side. So I had to make these these openings 4 blocks wide instead of 3. And so this guy is in the middle of a 4 block wide opening. So it looks kind of ugly. Let's fix this. And actually I want it to be like that. There we go. Okay. Yeah, each of these is 4 blocks wide. Or these two anyway. The ones on the end are 3 blocks wide. That's 3 blocks, that's 3 blocks, that's 3 blocks. But we have the read rooms, I guess we can call it, the reading rooms. And I'm thinking of adding another level beneath here so that this water that sort of comes down here, I think it'll go down another level. And then there'll be some pools in the bottom. I think it'll look really neat when it's all done. But what we have to do is we have to sort of rework some of this so that it looks like this. There's a look that's been developing based on the way these aqueducts flow that I think is kind of neat. Just the geometry of it. I think I'm gonna rework some of this so that it mirrors that a little bit more. So that it's a little more square and blocky and more like carved out instead of these pyramid shapes, inverted pyramid shapes. But first, let's try getting rid of this thing and see what that looks like. What would we put there? I guess a staircase. Or would I put a slab? Ow, ow, ow. I need to get rid of that for one thing. Slab, 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 but then you have like a big, I guess we'll do the staircase. Yeah. Okay, and let's get rid of this. And let's put a cactus there. There we go. Okay, good. I think that may even emphasize a little more that this column is supporting this beam. And then that is supporting these two big things. And it's all sort of just cantilevering out. If we only have the one column. We had 3 earlier. And that didn't look right. That may look better. And it may also emphasize that this thing is just going poing and like cantilevering out if we have less columns there. Let's look at that from a little ways away. So I've spent 3 videos working on this now, and all of the different farm types, all the crops, are in the building. So people can use it when they need to. And I will start bouncing around between projects now. So next video, we're going to go back to the map room. For instance. But we're not done with this, so we're going to keep working on it. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I think that looks really good. Pretty good. It's getting there. Need to get rid of the birch. Yeah, the birch is not working. So, let me know what you think in the comments section. Any suggestions? You can also post them in the relevant threads on the Reddits. I guess that's it. See you later. Take it easy. Have a good day. Bye-bye.